Bonjour, my name is Eric Boucher. Now, despite my very French name, I'm actually an American. I'm the co-writer of this show and the writer of the original Verdict of Sorcery, which was written and directed by me in the fall of 2002. Carla and I have been working together over the past year, mostly via emails going back and forth on this exciting new project. Now, I've known Carla for several years prior to this, though. In fact, her and I are even alumni of the same college theater program here in the States. I first met her through a friend when I was teaching improvisation, and then she later came to join me at Six Flags in the shows department, where she also helped design lights for several of my shows, and where the original Verdict of Sorcery was first produced as a short midway production, and it has also been restaged there nearly every fall since.
I present to you, my fellow righteous townspeople, the apparent acts this impure spirit has committed in direct violation of the St. Victor Discallion.
Now, when I wrote the original Verdict of Sorcery, I did a decent amount of research.
Thus, behaviors include consorting with demons, infecting the minds of men, demonic incantations, spontaneous fits showing possession, contortions of the unholy, the practicing of sorcery and magic.
The crimes Abigail is said to be accused of are based on history, along with the actual names chosen for the characters.
Let the beheading begin!
Now, a lot of people ask, why a guillotine? Well, it is very common for theme parks to do a beheading as part of their Halloween shows. And part of the choice was also technical logistics. Frankly, it's just much harder to do a traditional burning, especially in the round, or in a touring show as the current Verdict of Sorcery is now. However, guillotine was a method used to execute suspected witches around the world.
Forgive me, but it is not for my judgment, but for the will and goodness chosen by the people you have cursed. It is what you want, is it not?
Inspirations for our characters of Abigail and Judge Greystone also come from such classic works as The Scarlet Letter or The Hunchback of Notre Dame. For the staging of it, we were also inspired by Bertolt Brecht or even the modern Jerry Springer, because we wanted the audience part of the show, chanting and jeering along with our actor who plays the townfolk crier. Now, this is an element we hope to keep in the expanded stage version for some great audience interaction and participation.
Must declare Abigail Dickinson a witch!
Yeah! A witch! She's conjured up a spell and a half, causing my goats to go dry.
In the spirit of Dramatized, Carla had the great idea of modernizing Verdict of Sorcery, and together we came up with the idea of drawing a parallel between accused witches and bullying today. At least in the US, bullying online and in schools has become a really hot topic lately, and even simple name-calling has resulted in violence and sometimes suicide. We want to make the history of the witch trials relevant to today and help point out the dangers of ruining someone's reputation with false accusations. In our parallel stories, the hypocrisy is also revealed, and the ones who stand for justice and passing judgment on others are usually the corrupt ones and the ones with the problem.
I think you know what you do is right. Your guidance is more evil than you could ever accuse me of. You are all mistaken in your perceptions of purity.
Actually, Verdict of Sorcery is one of the few serious dramas I've written and produced. By nature, almost all my other work is comedic, and I've worked professionally as a comedy writer, instructor, and performer for over 12 years. Which is why when we had the opportunity to expand Verdict of Sorcery, we wanted to make sure we infuse some humorous moments into the show, and it also helps make it relate more to young people. Speaking of fun, I am thrilled that Carla let me have a small cameo as a voiceover in the new show, and she even sprinkled in some nods to some of her stateside friends and my fellow troupe members when she named some of the new and extra characters, such as Thomas Lynch, who's running camera for me right now. This is a very exciting project for me. I've always loved working with Carla, and I love watching the podcast and all the hard work going on the other side of the ocean. It's eerie and also amazing to see words I wrote being used in such a new context. Thank you to Carla for being a great collaborator, and to the Dramatized team for all your hard work and commitment in making our words meaningful. Thank you very much everyone for watching. I'm sure you'll enjoy this show. That's all I got. What if we chroma key in the Eiffel Tower and then they'll think I'm really there in France with them?
That's cool.
Yeah, is that a good idea?
Yeah.